that the policies probably would require a workshop or some additional work. Neither of us intended that we would review these tonight and vote yes or no. I think this is going to be probably a month to 2 month process. This is just the starting point, but it is a starting point. So if there's any way we can schedule a workshop in addition to our next regular board meeting, I think we could address this and some other construction flow related things. But I think we need to sit down and hash things out for 2 to 3 hours and not worry about voting, but just make sure we're all on the same page, give Bill some feedback and figure out how to move forward.
Yeah, most definitely. We need a workshop and to review this and engage some other stakeholders as it relates to this. But primarily, I think we need to really review this and delve into it, because I think this is among the most important things that we want to have some say in. So, because once this is decided upon, this is kind of like our Bible. You know, what is going, how the shelter is going to be presented. So when we go out and give presentations about what the shelter does, these will be the rules, and people are concerned about, you know, what our rules and procedures are. What are we really trying to accomplish? And I think that this is expected to articulate that. So, yeah.
It's just like with the judge and all police officers from different municipalities being here, and they put that whole brochure together. And we need to go back and read that to make sure it's been implemented in this, because they had major concerns in there. And I'll pull that thing and look at it, and that'll be one of the things I have, because they had a whole thing in there about the intake was built. Is it built in here with what they said, Bill? Because I remember you were at the meeting with me.
It's not specifically to the detail that they wanted. The admission policy does say that we'll do background checks on folks and identify more than just law enforcement as a referral source. I also identify behavioral health providers, medical providers.
So you did pick it up, okay. That was my
other
concern.
folks that work with the homeless. Yeah, but I have in there that we'll do background checks on people.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of questions, obviously, to go through that, but just one offhand. Do we have, I don't want to call it a search procedure, because I always want to be careful of, illegal searches and seizures on people, but do we have a policy, a procedure in place to ensure that no drugs, no alcohol are being carried in people's bags and brought in here and on the premises? I know we have a rule that says we're not going to allow it. Do we have a mechanism to check people's bags and their person to assure that stuff's not being brought in?
Well, we have the right to search people's belongings. I mean, it says that we have the right to search people's belongings or personal space, and there's a specific amount of personal property and items that they're permitted to have. Anything outside that's considered contraband and subject to confiscation. I mean, one of the things that I will need some feedback from the board on, I come from a correction background. We're pretty intrusive when it comes to searches, pat downs, those kinds of things. We do have a drug testing policy. Mark and I reviewed 2 different policies. One was pretty strict, where you actually have people, drop their drawers. You got a mirror behind the toilet. I mean, it's right. So we've gone with something that's still pretty thorough, but not quite as invasive as that. Yeah. That's why I really do need your feedback. Again, coming from a correction background, what I've learned, and I've been going to a lot of meetings, talking to a lot of people who visit the shelters, is that the key to working with homeless people is engagement. They need to feel respected, they need to feel that they're not judged. In corrections, we took a pretty hard line. Here's the guidelines of our program, you're going to be expected to operate within those. If you step outside those guidelines, we'll try and usher you back in. However, if you are non-compliant, get unsuccessfully discharged. There are criteria for unsuccessfully discharged in the policies and procedures, but it also says that we're gonna work with people and give them every chance possible before we would decide to discharge.